Hey guys, welcome back to some more reviews. And finally, we're getting to the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. I was actually going to review or rant on Mama, the movie Mama, before I did the reviews for Nightmare on Elm Street. But I figured I'd just, I've been wanting to review these movies for a while now. I just wanted to review some of the newer movies, movies that I wanted to talk about before, but the videos aren't up anymore, so I figured I'd just, review some of those movies. But I figured that since I've been wanting to review these movies for a while now, I know it's been a few weeks I know you guys have been waiting for a few weeks to get to watch the reviews of Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. But finally just decided to do the review for Mama after I'm done with this franchise. Not even that, because I plan on doing reviews on this franchise. I'm gonna be going a little bit out of schedule. I know I usually upload on Monday and Wednesday. Monday I was very busy, so I couldn't upload any videos. But I'm probably gonna end up, uploading a little bit out of schedule. I'm gonna be uploading the first movie review today, which will be on the original, the classic, the legendary Nightmare on Elm Street. And I will get to 2 and 3 tomorrow, and then of course I'll get to more of the sequels as the days go on. I'm gonna try and get these reviews done before Valentine's Day, because I want to review My Bloody Valentine on Valentine's Day. If I can't review the My Bloody Valentine movies on Valentine's Day, then I'll just review the movie Valentine, which is a different horror movie. But yeah, that's pretty much the plan, is to, for the next couple of days, try to review the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. And I got all the movies. There's just different versions of them. Oh crap. Sorry about that, guys. Had a big pile of DVDs right here, and they all just, well, some of them fell. Not all of them, but some of them fell. But I do have, sorry, try to get these all caught up again. Counting the first movie in here, I do have, kind of hard to hold up, but I do have the entire franchise, one way or another. I have the first movie on DVD, which I want to pick up the Blu-ray for this movie. Looks pretty cool. Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Of course, this is known as probably the gayest one in the franchise. Probably the weirdest one, but it's still pretty decent in my opinion. Yes, it is a little weird watching it. It does have a little bit of weird scenes to it, but I still think it's a pretty decent movie. It's pretty underrated. You don't really hear a lot of people talking about Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Even though it got weird at times, I mean, it still had some good things to it. So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Dream Warriors. Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors. My favorite of the franchise. A freaking awesome, horror movie. Like I said, my favorite in the franchise for a reason. I mean, it's just got so much going for it. And, I always loved the original Nightmare on Elm Street, but I had a lot of fun with this movie. A lot of fun with this movie. And it's my favorite in the franchise because, I mean, it's just got a lot of stuff going for it. Makeup effects, it was a really fun movie. Great 80s vibe to it. The music was great. Dawkins, the Dream Warriors. I'm back for the attack. I'll mention some more of that during this review, but I gotta say, this is a freaking awesome movie, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. Definitely a classic sequel. Yeah, great movie. Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, which I had a lot of fun with. Had a great 80s vibe to it, some great music in there. Pretty much known as the, totally 80s Nightmare on Elm Street movie. But I had a lot of fun with the movie because it had a great 80s vibe to it. You have a lot of music that's good in it. You just had some good 80s fun to it. But I thought overall it was pretty good. I had fun with the movie. It's pretty good. Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Nightmare on Elm Street 5, which I used to defend in the past. I don't know why I did that, because watching it now, it's just crap. It looks like crap. The effects really weren't that decent. I mean, some of them were pretty decent, but there were a few effects that weren't pretty good. Some death scenes that really, weren't that much. And a short body count, and there's just not really a lot going for the movie. You know, the atmosphere is pretty cheap looking. Yeah, just and also you have some stupid ideas like Super Freddy and stuff like that. But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, it's pretty bad. I'll do a rant on it. I don't like it anymore. I used to like this movie in the past for some reason, but I don't like it anymore. So Nightmare on Elm Street 5, the Dream Child. And then I got this 4-pack because I couldn't find Freddy's Dead, the VHS. I got it over there somewhere, but it's piled up in other VHS tapes. So I'll just be talking about Freddy's Dead on this disc pack. Right there. Oh, it's right there. Freddy's Dead. Of course, you guys couldn't see it. I also have Freddy vs. Jason on this. I lost my other DVD, Freddy vs. Jason. I can't find it, so I might have to resort to watching it on the 4-pack, which is in a way kind of a backup DVD. I mean, it is scratched up. Let me check it. Yeah, it's pretty scratched up, but I might be able to watch Freddy vs. Jason. I won't be reviewing Freddy vs. Jason until I get to the Friday the 13th films. And when I get to those movies, I'll review Freddy vs. Jason and sort of keep it equal. I want to review these films, and then I want to review the Friday the 13th films, and then I want to do Freddy vs. Jason along with the Jason movie reviews, so that I can have both franchises plus review for Freddy vs. Jason. So yeah, I'm not gonna be doing a review for this until the Friday the 13th franchise, but I will be reviewing that when I review those movies. But yeah, it's Freddy's Dead, a really fun movie. I had a lot of fun with it. It's actually very underrated. Yes, the comedy kind of got a little too much comedy. There's a certain point you can go with comedy, and it was starting to get to that point where it was like, it's kind of getting cheesy and corny. But you know, still a fun movie. Had a lot of fun with this. Definitely underrated. Sorry about this. All this freaking things keep popping up. Gosh dang. Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which I used to freaking despise this movie in the past. I know in the past I said it was boring, that, you know, I didn't. There's still one problem with the movie, though. I don't like that look of Freddy Krueger. That look with the new makeup, just the way that it looks, I don't like. I don't like the fact they give him a freaking trench coat and bright green and red sweater and a freaking glove that has a 5th claw, and it's built to look like a freaking, you know, as if it was his real hand, but it isn't. It's just a fake glove that basically he puts on his hand. And I just did not like the look of Freddy Krueger in New Nightmare, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. But I still, watching it again, I thought it was really well directed by Wes Craven. Had a great story to it. I actually really liked the storyline to it. Great acting. Of course, you got Heather Langenkamp coming back to making a return in this movie. And it was a cool idea. And I actually really enjoy this movie now. Really enjoy it. It's definitely a good sequel. And Wes Craven did a great job directing the first Nightmare on Elm Street and this Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Rest in peace to Wes Craven. Brought us the Freddy Krueger character and brought us a lot of characters. And you know, he was a horror movie legend, and he will be missed. And yeah, rest in peace to Wes Craven. Did a great job directing these. Did a great job directing Nightmare on Elm Street and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Just rest in peace, Wes Craven. He was a legend in the horror, you know, in horror. He was a legend, and you know, yeah. So rest in peace to Wes Craven. But yeah, I enjoy this movie now. I actually think it's pretty good now. And the last movie I will be reviewing will be the Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 remake, which I don't like. I think it's a crappy remake. I can honestly say I don't really remember anything good about this movie. And this is bare bones, no features at all. And you know what's really annoying about this DVD is you have these trailers you have to sit through. Like, I have to sit through freaking commercials for movies that came out in 2010. Like, it's like you gotta sit through them. You can't skip past them. So, you know, that's a little, you know, nitpick about the DVD itself. But, just bare bones. I got it for $1, so yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street remake. not good. I hate this remake. I think it's freaking boring. You know, the main point of this movie is boring. It's boring, and it's slow, it's sluggish, and also you got a bad Freddy Krueger, you got bad, terrible CGI, terrible score, and yeah, I mean, just altogether, in my opinion, a bad remake. Now I know I'm 10 minutes in, and haven't talked about the original Nightmare on Elm Street yet, which I'll get to, but Nightmare on Elm Street, if you haven't seen it yet, man, you need to go see Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, seriously, just stop the review and go to a DVD store anywhere. Go on Netflix. I think they got them on Netflix now. And watch Nightmare on Elm Street if you have not seen the original Nightmare on Elm Street. The classic Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984, gets 7.5 on IMDb. It's a classic for a reason. I mean, it's got so much going for it. You got a classic story, classic characters, great acting in my opinion, great makeup effects, creative ideas, creative kills, decent body count, and just the idea of somebody that can kill you in your dreams is just such a creepy idea because eventually you have to sleep. There's no denying it. You have to fall asleep sometime. And when you fall asleep, Freddy Krueger's going to be in your dreams or your nightmares to kill you. It's a very creepy idea, and I do believe this was based off of sort of a true. I mean, it is a true thing that happened. Was, I guess, over in Asia there was this thing going on with these kids, and basically like they were having these severe nightmares, and Wes Craven was reading about it in an article. And I guess these kids over in Asia were having these severe nightmares to the point where, this one kid was, drinking coffee. That's where he got the reference, or not the reference, but that's why he got, Heather Langenkamp's character, Nancy, that's why she's drinking coffee in the movie, because you found out that kid had, like, coffee hidden in his room and stuff like that. And basically the kid fell asleep, and his parents could tell him it was okay, it's just a dream. And the kid fell asleep and actually died in his sleep. And Wes Craven, used that and made it into a movie and made it a masterpiece. And, it's just a great movie. I gotta say, I love the score of this movie. It's great. I like the scene where she's preparing the traps in the house. That dun 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 dun. Great freaking score. Even the opening score. Da, 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 da. And just a bunch of great songs for the movie. And of course, at the end, you got the song that plays at the end of the movie. It's a nightmare. It's just a dream. It's a nightmare. It's just a dream. Great song. And of course, I mean, you got so many classic scenes. But before I get to some of the scenes, though, I'll talk about the story a little bit. But who doesn't know the story of Nightmare on Elm Street? I mean, you got these kids living on Elm Street, and you find out that there was this child murderer back in the day who got basically burned alive. And now this person has come back to haunt the people that killed him, to haunt their children's dreams, and to kill their children, basically, one by one. And you have Nancy trying to figure out what's going on. She's trying to figure out how to stop Freddy. And throughout the movie, you just got so many scenes that just are creepy, they're scary, they're classic, and they're freaking awesome scenes. Like the scene where you got Johnny Depp being in this movie. I believe this was actually his first film. And you got Johnny Depp in his first role, and he plays her boyfriend, I think, Glenn. And he's asleep on his bed, and then freaking Freddy's arm comes up, pulls him into the bed, and buckets and gallons of blood just spray onto the ceiling. You know what? This was the first. I think I mentioned this was the first horror movie that I seen that honestly made me turn off the movie. Like, basically, I ran out of the bed. Like, basically, I think it was one of my dad's girlfriend's friends, I think she had a copy of Nightmare on Elm Street. So I figured I would watch it, and she's like, "Are you sure it's pretty scary?" I was like, 8 or 9, and I was really into horror movies, and I was watching stuff like Child's Play and stuff like that, starting off with Friday the 13th, and but it was before I started watching like fully horror movies. Like after that, I started watching horror movies all the way through. But this was the first one I couldn't finish. It scared the crap out of me. I remember watching it, and when she pulls Freddy's face off, that scared the crap out of me. And just the music scared me, the atmosphere scared me. There were a lot of scenes in the movie that really scared me, and I couldn't continue the movie. I was kind of like, okay, man, calm down, calm down. You can finish this movie. Just try to get through it. And I tried to, and I failed. I could not get to this movie when I was a kid. It scared the crap out of me. And I literally, I swear, when she tore Freddy's face off, I literally got up and I ran out the freaking bedroom. I was like, holy crap! I was like, dude, this girl just pulled his face off. I was freaking out and everything, man. It was crazy, man. And, you know, this was the first movie I couldn't finish. I could finish Child's Play. I could finish other movies I seen, like Friday the 13th, but I could not finish Nightmare on Elm Street. And, you know, it was a movie I couldn't finish watching as a kid. It creeped me out that much. And then later on I watched it again, and I just thought it was a great movie, and a great horror movie, and a classic. And, yeah, I mean, it's just, you got so many scenes. You got that scene where he's in the alleyway and his arms stretch out. This is God. You know, she runs and boom, he's right there. Or boom, watch this. Boom, his fingers get cut off. Or I guess for the scene where she pulls his face off, where he's like, yeah. Or the classic scene where she's in the bedroom, Tina, and the freaking, I guess it was, they had a rotating house that was spinning, and the camera would spin with it so you didn't notice it was spinning or not. And it looks really good. The effect was really good. It works well. Where she's getting dragged up the ceiling, she's getting cut, she's on top of the ceiling, she gets dropped down, a freaking explosion of blood happens. Very gruesome death scene. Then you got the scene where a kid named Rod gets hanged in a cell. And then you've got, I think that was it pretty much. Yeah, because then Glenn gets pulled in the bed and the freaking blood comes out. And then pretty much Halloween Camp by the end of the movie pulls Freddy out of the dream world, and she begins setting up these traps in the house, and have a great ending to the movie. It's really good, where Freddy Krueger's getting hit in the chest by a freaking sledgehammer falling through the stairs, getting caught on fire, and then you got that scene where Nancy's mom gets basically sunken down in this bed, and then of course Nancy finally stands up against Freddy, basically saying, "I'm not afraid of you, I don't believe in you, you're just a dream." And Freddy of course disappears, and then the ending was kind of, I don't want to say bad, but it's kind of off. I don't know if it should have been there, where Nancy gets in the car because it's pretty much the next day, and you think that everything's fine, that her friends are fine again, and she gets in this car and the freaking roof folds over and it's Freddy's sweater, and they drive off and the car's not even, they can't control the car. The windows roll up and they lock. And the car drives off, and then the mom gets pretty much pulled through the freaking door. It just didn't feel like it. Felt a little bit off, but I know that wasn't Wes Craven's fault. I know that the like Robert Shea or something, I can't remember. I think it was Bob Shea or something. I know that he basically the head of New Line, I think. I don't know if it's on here or not. It may just say like Bob Shea or, yeah, Robert Shea produced the movie, and I think it was his idea to do that, and just didn't feel like it needed to be in there. It just kind of felt a little bit off. But yeah, I mean, you got the end of the movie, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. But it's definitely a classic. It's definitely a great movie. If you haven't seen Nightmare on Elm Street, check it out. Just go watch it right now. If you haven't seen it, just go on Netflix. I think they got it on there. Go to a DVD shop and buy it. Go anywhere and just well, I mean, just buy the movie and watch it, man. It's freaking awesome. And yeah, like I said, I want to get the Blu-ray soon, but for right now the DVD. So yeah, that's my review on the first Nightmare on Elm Street. I'll be reviewing Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and 3 tomorrow. So thanks for watching the review, and I'll see you guys on the next review. Bye, guys.